And, you know, we have to say that two of the most notable are Dave Seville and Master Crane himself. Dave Seville, you know, he burst onto the Twitter scene by with this tweet right here. Anyone have any tips on how to get Theodore to put down food and lose about 250 pounds now? And he tagged it hopeless, and he tagged it heart attack by age 14. Now, Dave Seville has never been known for his parenting skills, as the Chipmunks just kind of burst their way in through a tree that got cut down, and they always wanted to celebrate Christmas, and Dave never wanted to be a real family. But he clearly got rid of that by joining the Cells. He came out of nowhere to dominate a tournament that shouldn't have even been played. It was on the Chippo Party Ball, and he just dominated. He was all over the field. He even caused so much frustration in Woody that Woody pronounced, "That's goddamn Dave Seville," or "That's Dave goddamn Seville." We can't remember which one, but it was just a scream of infuriation. He's not a very difficult guy to get angry, since he won angriest player, but still, Dave gets under your skin, and that's just an asset to have on your team. Of course, I don't really think that he's gonna. Everyone kind of overrates it. Not overrates him. It's just teams are afraid to throw in his direction, and he doesn't cover the field that well. And you know, I predicted that Edward Riccoti is going to have an unbelievable year defensively, but it seems like the crowds are flocking back into the cities. They had to evacuate. But anyways, as you can see right here, I predicted only 3 picks from him, and he called me out here saying, "And a career day from Seamus Finnegan," he quoted me, "and a career day from Seamus Finnegan torching everyone, especially Dave Seville." And he called me, he said I was a Batcave moron. And you know, that's all in good fun. And then he goes on to say, Buckner predicts I'll only pick off 3 passes. Had 6 in my sleep last year. Friggin' lunatic. So he is not afraid to be the vocal leader of this defense, and the Cells really need to step up on defense. I mean, if they have any shot at competing with these high-octane offenses, they're going to have to step up the defense, because they have just been obliterated. That is what has killed them in the past. And you know, he finishes up with this is how you want to finish it up right here with his tweet: "Cannot wait to prove myself all over again in Old Orchard." That's what you like to see from the vocal leader of your defense. On the other side, here is Master Crane, how he burst onto the Twitter scene. He tweeted, and I quote, "Chillin' in the crib, waiting near that cellular phone. Teams be interested. I know it. Crane got the arm and the PhD in METH." So he's overly confident, as you can see, and he's just a dipshit. He's a fucking idiot. But he's also saying that he still has he's still addicted to meth, basically. And then he goes on a rampage here. He reaches out to his former coach Tim Allen, saying, "Biggest mistake ever, cutting me, bitch-ass dick." And that is just not what you want to see in the league. The Cells cannot respond. The Cells let Kanga get under their skin for years before that rivalry finally fizzled out. And, you know, they don't really have that big of a rivalry with anyone else. Certainly not on that level again. But this is the type of thing that can create another rivalry. You know, they have a kind of a fake rivalry with the Franz Cartman because the Rotter and them have you know, past, but the Rotter is kind of a joke. Crane actually has the ability to be a pretty good high ceiling prospect, and if he can get his poop teammates to buy into his mentality, this could be the birth of a new rivalry. And of course, he followed that up by tweeting at the Grinch and saying, "Fuck you, nigga." Then he followed that up by tweeting at Woody, saying, "I know you gotten into the Cells. Get me back. I can hook you up. Y'all need that QB. Crane out." See, here's the thing. It's very hard to get a read on this guy because he's overly confident, and then that tweet says right there that he's incredibly desperate. Then he tweets at Too Tall. He insults him. he hints that they might still be hanging out, which is something that we might want to see get an interview with Tutal about, because that might be, if he's still hanging out with this Master Crane, that is just not good at all. And of course, then he tweeted at Seville, saying that they used to be friends, but now he's going to have to pick them apart. And he actually says, "You still buying my crystal?" So we certainly want to hear from Dave Seville on that too, because was he a former meth head? You never know. I mean, you couldn't blame him when the Chipmunks first invaded his territory. You just want to take as much meth as you can to forget that ever happened. I mean, you just want to load up on that crystal meth, get as high as a fucking kite, and just forget that those pieces of shit have come into your life. Because as he said, Theodore is 250 pounds at age 4. And that is just very, very, very concerning. But why would you be concerned? You're not the legal guardian. But anyways, is Dave Seville on meth? Was he on meth? We can only assume that he was, just off the Master Crane tweet. But then again, he's a balloon head, so you never know what to know with this guy. So Twitter has been a let me just write down a few notes here. Twitter has been a commodity that is really just emerging in Garden State. Of course, Tutal kind of has one, Woody kind of has one, Seville has one, Master Crane had one, then got traded. Yeah, and then I don't know. We gotta ask some of the other players if they're getting on. A Hobbs one, he's stayed very low key since being signed. No one has been able to reach out to him at all. Of course, the age of interviews and plant cell videos are on the way down. I mean, I think this is my first one since I did the Old Orchard preview of last year, and I think that went 18 minutes, and this one's already at 22:14. Not to mention this one's boring, so I should probably end this one pretty soon. But just kind of looking over some last-minute things. Yeah, there doesn't really seem to be anything to say. So yeah, the riot seems to have ended. It seems that they've the Iron Giant was involved, because he's the only one who has missile products. So I'm sure the police will be looking into him again, which is the last thing he needs. He already had that big investigation way back when. The Iron Giant, again, airlifted to whatever that hospital was in Nebraska, Louisiana. We don't know what's going on with him. We might receive an update within these final seconds. Yes, it looks like wow. He took a bullet in the foot. So we're going to have to, who knows if he'll be good to go. We can just hope and pray that who cares? I mean, they don't need it. And other than that, seems like everyone has calmed down. They've gotten, they've poured out their emotions about the Crane news. Big poop fan Clooney, he was furious. He took his gun. You remember the picture, the snapshot there. It seems that has settled down. Other than that, seems the riot's over. Like I said, 3 weeks, really 2 weeks, 6 days until this season is underway, and the hype is there this year. So we're looking forward to that. And this video is going to take forever to upload. So see ya later.